right, so looking at the progress that I've made, I'm gonna make a few more items this week. To start, I'm gonna try to use up these beans. I'm gonna use both cans. These are some heirloom variety that I bought a while back just to try something different. So I bought some ham. So a few weeks ago, I bought this ham with intentions to make the beans with some ham at that point, but I never did. So after a couple of weeks, I froze it just to make sure it didn't go bad, and I took it out of the freezer a couple days ago, and I'm gonna go ahead and cook it tonight or tomorrow morning with these heirloom series variety beans, and that'll be good. And I'll eat it either with the tortillas that I have or with some rice. And you're gonna have some beans and rice or bean burritos with ham. Additionally, I'm gonna finish this PB2. There's just a little bit left, and then I'll start on this because I'm gonna start eating oatmeal. It's cooling down again. It's starting to feel cool in the morning. So I'm gonna definitely eat that. And then I'm not sure, I'm gonna take these out to finish. These will go with the food I pulled out of my freezer. I pulled out some of my taco casserole from the freezer, and I have some chips left in here, so I'm gonna use that. And otherwise, I don't know, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use these steel cut oats. I'm gonna cook them in the slow cooker, I think. I'll be experimenting with that, and if I need, I have some maple syrup, but if I need more, I'll pull this maple syrup out. And I think that's all for this week. I do want to make a cabbage casserole again soon, but I don't have time this week, and I have enough stuff to eat, so I don't really need to. I will probably pull some of these Kind bars. I'll actually pull a couple out right now. Woo. So these are the crunchy peanut butter variety. I'm gonna pull some of these out, make some progress on that, eat that with some fruit. Yeah, I think this is good. I'm getting to the point where I'm not using as much each time because I don't have as much. So these are some of the items I'm gonna try to use up this week. Possibly later on this week, I'll cook another cabbage casserole if I have the time. But to start off, we're gonna use up some of these steel cut oats that have been hanging out. Maybe open a new maple syrup. The other one that I have is almost empty. And a couple of crunchy peanut butter bars. I'll also use some of my tortillas, but those don't really count as a true pantry challenge because I buy them every other week or so. So I'll always be working on those. The chicken stock, I don't know when I'm gonna use, but possibly I'll put some of this crunchy stuff in my oatmeal, although it's kind of redundant because it's oat granola in oatmeal. Might be good. It might add a crunch to like a smooth oatmeal. We'll see. But this is what I'm doing this week, and I'll let you know if I decide to cook anything else. I am finishing some more of that cabbage soup that I have. It's on its way out, but I have a few more servings of that. I'll show you how I'm cooking that. All right, getting everything ready for my overnight oats. These are gonna be crock pot steel cut oats. I've got the organic steel cut oats that have been hanging out in my pantry for a while. I've got maple syrup to sweeten with, a little salt to add, the last of this container of PB2, which I think will be enough, and my little tiny crock pot. So I'm just gonna make one serving this time and see how much of the crock pot it fills up once the oats expand, and then I might be able to fit 2 servings in here. The container, the bag says in a 4 to 6 quart crock pot you can make 4 servings, but I don't have a crock pot that big. So, well, I do actually. I bought one, but I haven't opened it yet. So, and I don't need that many. I'm just one person. So I'm thinking during this winter, I may be able to make steel cut oats in the crock pot overnight on a few occasions. I think that would be good. I'm not always an oatmeal person, but if it's already made overnight and I can wake up smelling it, I think that'll be good. So we'll see. I'm gonna try this tonight. I'm gonna wait till later tonight to start it so that it's not, ready at, 5 a.m. I'm gonna wait closer to probably around 11 midnight to start it, and then we'll see how it's ready in the morning. This is an experiment. Right, so we've got 1/4 cup of this steel cut oats. We're gonna put that in there. 1/4 cup. And 1 cup of water. I'm gonna make it with water this time. Next time I may try with almond milk. And you know, there's not much in there, so I'm gonna go ahead and make 2 servings. I can reheat some the next day. So, let me add some water. There we go. So it's about half full. And I'm gonna add, it says, ½ teaspoon of salt. So I'm not gonna add a whole teaspoon because that might be a lot. I'm just gonna stick with the half. So it's about 1/4. So I'm gonna plug it in and let it cook overnight. I'm gonna add the maple syrup and the PB2 tomorrow. That way nothing gets stuck on the side and makes a mess. It'll just be simply the oatmeal cooking overnight in the water. And if I want it creamier, I can add some almond milk tomorrow. All right, so next morning, I've added the powdered peanut butter and the maple syrup. I used up the last of that jar of maple syrup. We'll see if that's enough. And I've never had steel cut oats, so I'm not sure if this is what it's supposed to look like. This is 2 servings, so I'll eat what I can today, and then the rest I'll put away for tomorrow and reheat. So, kind of messy, but once I stir it, I may move it into a cleaner bowl. There we go. First serving. I don't really have anything to top it with, but we're gonna start with this, and then if I want some more, I'll have some more, or I'll put this away for tomorrow. But first attempt making steel cut oats. It didn't exactly come out as I thought. It still burned and stuck to the side of the crock pot, but I guess that's to be expected. But here it is. Ready to cook the ham. I sprayed the pan with this extra virgin olive oil spray. Got it on kind of a high heat to start. I'm gonna just add the ham. I've just chopped it into these little squares. And we're gonna let them brown on both sides. And then I think I'm not gonna heat up the beans until I'm ready to eat. So like each time that I eat, I'll heat the beans up. I'll just put them into containers with the ham and let it go like that. So I've got it on medium high because I really want it to brown on both sides. It's not really browning yet, but I've got it on medium. Oh yeah, it is a little bit starting to brown. So I'm just kind of watching it. I don't want it to burn, but I want a nice crisp browning. So some of them are starting to brown, so I flipped them over. These were kind of on the edge, so I just kind of pushed them closer to the center where the heat is, and they're going to start browning too. Yeah, see there, it's coming a little bit. So I'm looking at what I have. I've got 2 cans of beans here. I've got the yellow eye peas and these Jacob cattle beans. And then I don't have that much ham though. It didn't make as much as I thought. So I think I'm just gonna use this can with the ham, and because I'm gonna divide this into the containers with the beans, and then I'll eat it over rice when I reheat it. So I think I'm just gonna do that, and then I'll save the other can for another week. I'll buy another container of ham or something else and chop it up in there. And so this week I'll just use the 1 can. It is a little messy. I've got 3 containers. This one I just put the lid on already. So here we are, a little messy. I'm not going to use all the containers I'd planned, but I've got 3 containers. I filled them up with ham. I snacked on a few pieces of ham, and I'll probably just snack on that. But I have them ready to go. I'm going to put lids on them, and then when I'm ready to take them to work, I'll just add some rice. Perfect. So this is how I'm using up the last of the cabbage soup. I've almost finished it. I'm almost out of broth, so I'm just kind of cooking the soup with just a little bit of broth, and then I'm just adding rice. So I'm eating it more like a stew, I guess, cabbage stew over rice. It's still really good. It's really good, just simple like this. I don't have any meat or anything to add to it, but it's fine. It's just kind of a snack, a late night snack for me right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and heat this up, and then I'll show you once I add the rice. So it's starting to heat up. I'm just gonna let it heat up a little more, let a little bit of that broth cook out, and then I'm gonna add the rice. So here it is. I'm just about to serve it. It's really good when the rice is fresh, but I don't have a rice cooker that cooks when serving of rice. But here it is. I'm gonna go ahead and serve it and add some salt. Yesterday I thought it needed some seasoning, so maybe a little salt, a little Tony's. So here it is. I'm just gonna eat this. This is half of it. I'll come back in a little while for the other half after I finish this. And I'm gonna eat this as my sort of after dinner snack. I've already eaten, but want a little something to top it off, and this gets me a lot of fiber, some veggies, and it's just kind of comforting before bed. Another bean and cheese quesadilla. Using up a few more items. We've got 2 La Tortilla Factory tortillas, as well as some refried beans. Here's the refried beans that I use, using these up out of my pantry. I've got about 1 serving left, so I'll probably be able to make 1 more quesadilla. I've got some cheese left, so that'll go on the next quesadilla, as well as some more of my taco sauce. So, perfect. So I didn't have to buy anything for this. All the items were in my fridge. It's easy to put together. This time I kept it whole and used 2 tortillas, and I'm gonna cut it into 4ths and eat it that way. So using up leftovers, I had some frozen pizza I took out of the fridge yesterday and let it defrost overnight, and this is just 1 piece. I went ahead and reheated it in the oven, so it's nice and melty, and I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this for lunch. So I had my birthday recently, and I went out to eat with a friend. We went to an Italian restaurant. I got the plain pasta with marinara just because I haven't been feeling super great and I didn't want anything heavy. And she got this pizza, this lovely pizza that I was very jealous of. And then she got me this little piece of cake for my birthday. We split it. It was a great evening. I was so glad to have someone to spend my birthday with. Doesn't happen every year, but we had a good time, and grateful for another year around the sun.